Why are so many deserving Social Security disability claims denied at the initial or reconsideration stage of the disability process, and should you take it personally? I'm Jonathan Ginsberg. I'm a Social Security disability attorney. I've been representing clients in all 50 states for over 30 years. And I'm able to do that because disability hearings are now held by telephone or video. I also appear live every Wednesday night at 8:30 on my YouTube channel or my Facebook page, answering questions in a live stream, and I invite you to join me there, again, every Wednesday night at 8:30 Eastern. I get this question a lot from my clients. Should I take it personally? Should I be upset that I was denied by Social Security at the initial stage, at the reconsideration stage? And people get really angry. Clearly I'm disabled. I've been fighting this. I had somebody send me an email today, like, why would I not work if I could? How could they possibly deny me? And they get really, really upset about it. My response is that Social Security is a very, very big bureaucracy. They have a lot of practices and requirements, and you just can't take it personally if they turn you down. And generally speaking, at the initial and the reconsideration stage, the people making the decision are adjudicators. These are folks that work for Social Security. They're trained almost like claims adjusters in the insurance context. They work really, really hard. They're overworked. There's not enough of them, and they're given very little discretion in many cases to make decisions. And generally speaking, in my experience, most adjudicators are looking for cases that are at listing level, which means there are very, very serious medical issues, objectively documented. There's MRIs, there's CTs, there's pulmonary function tests, there's cardiac tests, things like that. And they're not generally going to make decisions where they've got to evaluate multiple conditions and decide that the combined effect of 3 or 4 conditions, along with medication side effects, would disable somebody. That's really the job of a judge. And what actually happens at the initial and the reconsideration stage, and I'm looking at these because when I'm doing hearings, I'm looking at what was done earlier on, is the adjudicator will gather medical records. So one point here is that sometimes they can't get everything. So after they try a couple of times, they can't get it. They go ahead and make a decision, sometimes without all the records. And you'll see when you get the denial notice, it may say, we could not get records from this doctor or this hospital. So point one is it may very well be that your file is not complete when that decision is made. Secondly, when they gather the medical information, they will take it to a medical specialist in the office who will do an evaluation. And the medical specialist is typically a physician who will report back to the adjudicator, this is listing level, there's enough here to find this person disabled, they meet a grid rule, whatever it may be. However, many times the medical specialist, and you can see in the file, it may be a pediatrician, it may be a urologist, it may be somebody, a psychiatrist, it may be somebody who has no knowledge about your particular type of problem. So you may have, for example, a pediatrician making an evaluation of an adult orthopedic problem. And I'm not saying that, medical doctors have all gone to medical school, they've been exposed to these different things, but there's a difference between a person who deals with back and neck injuries all the time, 24/7, as opposed to someone who dealt with it back in medical school 25 years ago. So sometimes the doctor making the decision is not really that knowledgeable about your particular medical problem. That is another reason why these decisions are sometimes not in your favor. I think that the more common the condition, the more likely it's going to be denied. So Social Security sees a lot of back pain cases, a lot of neck pain cases, a lot of diabetes cases. Therefore, the standard for finding a condition like that disabling is much, much higher than it would be if you have a unique condition that is clearly disabling on its face. It's something that is really close to listing level. And I think that the adjudicators are going to look at, let's say, a back pain case, and they're going to compare it, to the mental database they have of other back pain cases. And so if they see you've got one where there has been let's say a mild to moderate disc herniation, but no nerve root compression, no spinal stenosis, no radiating pain into the lower extremities, that may seem to them to be less disabling than a case where there were those things going on, or there were multiple problems in the back, multiple level problems in the spine. So you're dealing with that. You don't know what the experience of that particular adjudicator is. We also have situations, and I've had adjudicators tell me this, they are so busy with all the work they're required to do that if a case doesn't line up perfectly as being one that should be approved, they will simply turn it down, move it on to the next level, get it off their desk. They're required to process a certain number of cases. So you may fall victim to that. So there's a lot of reasons why your case could be denied that have nothing to do with the merits of your case. It could be something as simple as they didn't get the records in from the hospital where your surgery was done. It could be because the person looking at it, like I said, was not an orthopedic specialist, didn't understand the implications of having, spinal stenosis or whatever. And that could make a difference. Or it could just be the adjudicator was too busy. So these are all reasons why I don't think you should take a denial personally. And I think there is, and again, they would never admit this, Social Security would never admit it, but I think there's a certain element of when they turn you down, they hope a certain percentage of people are just going to give up, go back to work, and not pursue disability. So they make it difficult in that regard. And certainly Congress, in making the system and starving it of money, that is kind of what Congress is trying to do. They're trying to preserve the trust fund, which is supposed to run out of money in about 10 years. So yeah, they're going to make it difficult to win. So you've got to persevere. And these are all reasons, by the way, why, if you get turned down, or even if you're applying, get an attorney involved early. Let us, provide Social Security with what they need that we know is going to get your case approved. Make the arguments that we can make to try to get your case approved early. Make sure that deadlines are met. Make sure that forms are properly filled out. All these type of things go a long way to help win your case. But I think if you're turned down, don't take it personally. This is not about you. This is just about an overwhelmed system, and the adjudicators are just trying to process it to the best they possibly can. Visit me online at ssdanswers.com. I've got a Secrets to Winning Disability Survival Kit you can download. You can ask for a case evaluation. If you found this video useful, give it a thumbs up. Hit the bell so you get notification of new videos. If you saw this on Facebook, like it on Facebook. All these things help me spread the word. And of course, visit me on Wednesday night at 8:30 on the YouTube or Facebook page, and you can ask me questions live about your case or about anything on your mind about Social Security disability. So for now, this is Jonathan Ginsberg, and I do wish you the best. Thanks a lot. Hi, this is Jonathan Ginsberg, and I hope you found this video helpful. If you'd like to know more about how to win your Social Security disability case, I'd like to invite you to download my Secrets to Getting Approved Early Survival Kit that I created just for people like you. Currently, I'm making the survival kit available at no cost, and I encourage you to grab your copy now. Some of the topics I cover include: how do I know if I have a case? Is it the right time for me to file my claim? 9 common mistakes that can doom your case. The 3 must-have arguments you use to win your case. And a topic that every disability claimant wants to know: how to avoid trick questions from the judge. If you or a loved one need to win Social Security disability benefits, you'll find the Survival Kit essential reading. Download your Survival Kit right now and at no cost. Just visit ssdanswers.com/survival and sign up. It's that easy. Please act now. And as always, I wish you the best.